Hey there friends, Nibs again. Out here at the range today, doing a little bit of goofing around, and I got something actually a little bit different for you guys. Well, if you've been on the channel for more than a little while, you've seen this one before, or if you've dug back in my history of my channel, you've seen this one before. But this is a really cool gun from, I believe this was made back in like the 90s, if I did my history lesson right. This is a Shin Sung Career Ultra, and this one is, they made these in, believe it or not, they made these I believe in 177 caliber and 22 caliber. This one is actually in 9mm or .35 caliber. It is a beast of a gun. So if you, let me give you a little flyby on it. First off, I'll open the action there so we know it's clear. But this is a really cool gun. We'll talk about that mag there in a minute. It's not the standard magazine. That's part of the reason I wanted to get this out today. But there is the other side there. Really lovely wood on this thing. Just beautiful. I have a really nice Weaver. What's that one? A K8. A K8. Very obscure scope, but really nice scope for this gun. It is very windy, threatening to rain. It's been spitting and sputtering all day, but I really wanted to get out and do a little bit of plinking. So we're gonna just be shooting at some steel today, but I think it'll be pretty cool. Here's a picture. I shot a handful of rounds out of this before I started up, just to make sure the scope didn't get bumped or whatever. But here's a couple of the pellets that I picked up off the ground from shooting at this steel down here at 50 yards. And this thing is really doing a number on flattening those suckers out. This gun, I bought this from a former co-worker. He retired. He didn't get fired. He retired. He told me that his stepson has taken this out deer hunting numerous times and taken several deer with it, and I believe it. It's pretty powerful. This is definitely one you do not want to shoot without hearing protection in. I mean, I don't mind shooting 22s usually without hearing protection, or most of my air guns, but this one really sounds like a shotgun going off. So anyway, so if you notice, I've got this magazine down here, which is the original RWS magazine. I actually have several of these in my equipment that came with this, but there is a fella that contacted me, and I do apologize. I believe his name's John. He's actually, I believe, selling these on eBay. It's been months since he sent this to me, so that's why I apologize. His name's John Peters. If I can find his eBay store still, I'll put a link down below. But he makes these reproduction magazines for these, because these old RWS magazines are impossible to find. So if you lose them, misplace them, break them, they're not the most robust thing. They're just made out of plastic, so they could break. This would be if you've got one of these and you don't have a magazine, there's no way to single load this thing, so you have to use the magazine even if you only want to shoot one shot. But he has developed a few little upgrades to this, which I think are really neat. So the original one, and I'll put a picture of the two side by side here. So the original one, you had to use the actual feeding knob or feeding handle here or whatever to actually get the thing out, because it's spring loaded. So you actually push this thing into the gun, and then it loads in at the front, and then you release that little lever, and that's what pushes the rounds into the feeding mechanism. But on these original RWS ones, RWS imported these Shin Sung guns. You have to use that to pull back on it, and that, I think, may be why a lot of these broke, because if you pull back too hard on that little metal bar, it'll rip it right out. So the one that John came up with actually has this little bump sticking out the side of it, so you don't have to use the feeding to actually get it in the gun. You can use this little bump to put it in and out, and then you can just release that and it'll feed you around. Another thing that he came up with is, so if you're out in the field hunting with this and you want to have a couple of mags ready to go, he actually came up with this little cap that you can put on there, and then you can have this in your pocket and the rounds won't fall out. When you're ready, when you need another round, you just pull this little handle out and that comes right off, load it in the gun, and you're ready to go. So really pretty cool. But we're just going to shoot a couple of mags full here, nothing too strenuous, and hopefully I can keep them all on that steel target down there. It's I think it's a 6x8. So these magazines will hold 5. These are the Vortex Strike pellets, 82 grain, .35. So now if I was going to put this in my pocket, I would put that little cover on there after I loaded 5 of them up. But we're going to go ahead and load this into the gun. Now I just got that in there. I released that. So now the first one's going to be ready. When I close this, we're going to be ready to shoot. So I'll shoot a mag full with these Vortexes, and then I've got some JSB Diablos. I've got a bunch of other ammo for this, and I also have a couple of molds that the previous owner actually had developed, and shot a lot of that out of these as well. Rabbit just went over there. He's lucky I'm busy on the camera here. But like I said, this one's definitely one you want to have your hearing protection in for. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me just I can see that my camera is running. I can't tell if I'm hitting center of mass on that, but it's a good hit nonetheless. Hopefully we don't get any shrapnel blasting off that steel plate on my camera. That's 3. This gun is an air hog though. That's 4. So I had my little Orc Air bottle pumped up to about 4,200 PSI, and I've filled this gun twice so far, and I'm down to 3,000 already. So this thing is really sucking up some air. But what a fun gun. So you can get about this is on full power right now, and on full power I can do about 16 good full power shots. So let's load up a mag full of these JSBs. These are 77 grain pellets, so these so that's 5 of those. Okay, so you just lock that in there, release that. Now we're ready to go again. So I haven't actually taken the picture yet, but I wanted to give you guys a size comparison. I'll put it up here right now, even though I'll take the picture in the future. But I'm going to set these look a lot like the Benjamin domed pellets or a Crossman Ultra Magnum, and I'll put one of those next to this in the 177 caliber, so you can actually see what the size comparison is with these. I know they have other guns that are much larger now, but this is the biggest air gun that I have so far, so it's a lot of fun. Maybe someday I'll have one of those Zeus's or whatever. So John had sent me this magazine like during the winter time, I think it was, and had a few, I did some moving around in my garage, moving some things around, and the box that came in had fallen behind my toolbox, and I couldn't find it. I didn't know where it went. So I was just moving a few things around again, and I found that. So I was like, oh boy, I better get that out. Hopefully he's still selling them, and this will help him out. These Shin Sungs are very, very rare, and I feel very lucky to have this one. It's a great shooting gun. When I got it, the fill valve, the fill nipple valve was leaking, so you would put air in it, and as soon as you bled it off, you could hear it weeping out the end, and you could barely get a shot or two off before it was completely empty. If you left your bottle hooked up to it, you could shoot just fine, but I found a guy in the UK that actually sells parts for these, and he developed a new fill valve tip for it, and I ordered one. It took like 3 months for it to get here, but I finally got it in, and all right, so let's see here. How am I doing on air? I'm doing good. I'm gonna do one more mag. That way you guys can see that I did get 15 shots, 15 good shots out of this guy. In my past times having it out, I would get down to just a little bit above 1,000 PSI with 16 shots. So really want to kind of top it off with air at that point, I would say. That one didn't want to chamber. I seen that one hit the plate. A lot of times the scope is still settling back down by the time the pellet gets down there, but that other one, I was able to see it hit the plate and just fell straight down. Okay, this is 4. So, you know, those shots are all minute of, you know, large, hairy mammal. Or maybe even smaller hairy mammal like a fox or a coyote. But definitely worthy of a deer, even though New York State doesn't allow deer hunting with air guns. Thank you very much, Communist State of New York. There you go. You got the little cover. Put the cover back on there, and we're good to go. So let's see what we got for air. And I'm still sitting just above 1,000 PSI, just like I thought I would be. So very good. So there you go. That's the Shin Sung Career Ultra. I can stop yelling now. Take my earplugs out. But a lot of fun. Really. Have a lot of fun when I do get this out. I don't get it out very often, but it is a ton of fun when I do get it out. And I really, like I said, I do apologize to John. Hopefully, if I can find your link. He actually has his initials on the little loading, the little tip for loading it in, JP. So, but anyway, there you go. Career Ultra, very, very cool old gun. Very much like the Seneca Dragon Claws. I've made that comparison on a few other videos, and people have told me that they're two totally separate companies, but boy, I mean, they actually do have one that's still a lever action. I don't know if it has the same feeding mechanism or not, I didn't pay that close attention, but if you look at this barrel and that barrel band at the tip and everything, if Seneca or whoever's making those for Seneca didn't buy out Shin Sung or it changed names or whatever, I don't know, but they sure look like a lot like the same thing to me. So anyway, hope you guys liked the video. Till next time, have a great day.